It's Tuesday, and you know what that means. It's back to IndyCar night racing on iRacing. Hello again, everyone. I am Gary Gonzo. Welcome to P1's broadcasting coverage of Round 7 of Season 3 to 2024 IndyCar Oval Series. Tuesday night top split on ERN, coming to you from the racing capital of the world, Indianapolis Motor Speedway. And we're going to jump into this like they used to do in the when CART used to buy time on CBS. No pre-race, nothing. As soon as we start the broadcast, it's time for the starting lineup.
Pretty much.
So let's go ahead and let's cue that on up, Mr. Larkamp.
Well, I was going to point out one big thing here is that some of the usual suspects are not at the front of the field to start this 50-lap affair here at the Brickyard. On the pole, in fact, will be the number 4 machine of Aaron Vasquez. Not a very common figure we see up at the front of the field here, but a very good run from his team. Alongside him will be the number 3 of Jackson Crowder. Only 2 of 6 drivers to turn laps below 39.8 seconds here. These are some really quick laps indeed for fixed setup cars. Row number 2 will be Antonio Estrada in the number 10. Alongside him will be Jacob Collins in the number 13. A sterling run for the blank white number 13 machine there. Seb Alexander in 5th place today will be starring alongside our old friend Clendy, Kyle Clenworth in the number 7 in 6th place. And this is why I was surprised by the qualifying results. In 7th place, the number 1 RM3, Robert Malechka III, the king of Indy when the Indy 500 came around, will only start 7th here tonight. He will be alongside the 18 of Masato Shimizu, who's had a really solid run here, had some good runs in the past. Can he really make the most of it this time? Row number 5 will be Bruno Romanzini, or at least it would be Bruno Romanzini. He's elected to start from pit road out of 9th place in the number 14. Alongside him would have been the 21 of Austin Green, rounding out the top 10. Matthew Ponto in the 20 machine will start 11th alongside the 5 of Wes Weidman. Ty Quilla and Mitch David, 13th and 14th, they sandbag pretty evidently on their qualifying runs here, and they're the last drivers to post qualifying times. And look who is starting from behind them. We got some heavy hitters. It's the 2 of Hamilton Akabuze in 15th. Brandon Trost, the winner in dramatic fashion last time out of Kentucky, starts off 16th. And then row number 8, Craig Forsyth on the 12, alongside Dustin Cares in the 15. Nielsen Messias, a winner on the broadcast at Dover a while back, will start 19th, alongside Alan Morea in 20th. Jake Johansson will be 21st alongside Carlos Washington. And final row of the grid, Richard Vasquez in the 24, alongside Brian Campbell in the number 9, who will also start this race from pit road. And fellas, it's Indy. Every race at Indy is special, and I think this could be very, very exciting with some heavy hitters coming up on the back here. Let's see what 50 laps of the Brickyard will bring. The most legendary track in all of racing, and we're in for another one on the virtual Brickyard. Green flag flies. Everyone getting up to speed. Really bit of a slow start there, I must say, but they are 2 wide, multiple deep going into turn number 1. Vasquez to the point.
Vasquez with a good enough run off as they go through the south end of the speedway here. Couple side-by-side rows going through turn 2. It's going to be iffy. They're going to have to watch out as they go down the backstretch and towards turn number 3 and our own Louis.
Jackson Crowder looking to the inside and gets the lead going into turn number 3. Very easy work there for the 3 machine of Jackson Crowder, and he will lead the first lap, it would seem, unless Vasquez gets a good run down the front straight. He does have the momentum. Looks to the inside at the stripe. It is going to be Crowder by a nose. And now Vasquez back to the lead of the race into turn number 1. Ooh, very close.
South end of the speedway. On the south end of the speedway, a huge gaggle here. Everybody having to get through. I don't know who that was. I saw him with an Akabuze.
Austin Green. There was Austin Green of the 21 machine having a very rough time there through 1 and 2. Gathers it up, though, and doesn't hit the wall. So that is the worst-case scenario averted. Making their way through 3 and 4 once more.
Track temp 111. And a car coming to pit road.
It's Austin Green. I think he got the meatball.
Yeah, he did get a hit there. Yes, he does have a meatball flag. He has to serve there, so that is a bummer already for the driver who started in 10th place. Not the way he wanted a top split show on the broadcast to be. And, oh, Jackson Crowder getting really cozy with the turn 2 wall there. Not really something I'd like to do here at the Brickyard too often, if I'm honest with you.
Now, you can get away with it in a stock car. You do not want to get too cozy with the wall here in an Indy car, because the slightest bit of contact is like what we saw with Austin Green. Even though there was a bit of a tank slapper, it can and will essentially end your race.
Exactly. And I actually had something similar happen in the Indy 500 back in the month of May there, and that was like, I'm amazed I even got away with it, but I had to mess with a damaged race car for the final third of the race. That was not a fun experience. And Collins, getting very close to the wall too. But look at Masato Shimizu on the charge from 8th to 5th. What a start for the 18.
Indeed, Masato Shimizu with a heck of a charge. He's playing his cards right, using the draft to his advantage. He's finding ways to combat that dirty air, especially behind another car going through all 4 corners here.
And also made a good start here, our friend Clendy. Kyle Clenworth now up into 3rd spot from 6th. Has made a lot of momentum out of some drivers' rough moments. Slotting in the 3rd, running a bit of a higher line through 1 and 2, just so he can get a little bit more air going over the front wing of that number 7 machine, just to give him more grip. And in the early stages here, you definitely want to be preserving tires. That's one way to do it.
And we could already note 1 DNF out of the race already. That was Austin Green. The damage was too much.
Oh, here's Shimizu on Collins in the 3.
Timing is moved perfect, but it looks like Collins might have the advantage of the outside. Ooh, I think he got a little bit of understeer there. Had to catch it, and he let Masato Shimizu go by. Masato Shimizu move him up to 4th place as they head towards turn number 1. Stevie?
Well done, Shimizu up into 4th place, but for the lead, Jackson Crowder gets to the inside of Vasquez and gets the job done going through the short chute. Vasquez, though, right on his gearbox. He's going to have all the tow in the world to get back by him here. How hard are these two going to fight early on the going? We're only working lap 6. Crowder playing a bit of defense already.
Battle between Ponto and Akabuizi going into 3. Also right behind them, Quilla and Trost going into 3. And neither one of them is giving any quarter on that move.
No, they are not. And Brandon Trost particularly, we saw what happened last time at Kentucky. Is Akabuizi and Ponto getting very chippy up there. That's the battle for 9th. But yet again, that lead battle, Vasquez now retakes the point. But this battle here in the mid-pack here, we got some heavy hitters fighting up against the guys that started off.
Dustin Kerr, excuse me. He smacked the wall in the short chute, looking like he's trying to recover right now. But Craig Forsyth had a full view of that.
That was a nasty hit there. No meatball flag I'm reading right now for the 15 of Dustin Kerrs, but that car, I can guarantee you, that's not going to feel too good. The thing is not going to drive like it does normally. And at Indianapolis, this is the last place you want it. You don't want it anywhere, but least so here at Indy.
A couple laps ago, there was another battle between 6th and 7th. That was Seb Alexander against Antonio Estrada as they were going through the south end of the speedway here. Seb Alexander had a run, hit that brick wall of air, had to back off. That way he didn't wash up into Antonio Estrada.
Yeah, and Estrada gets the best of that whole situation, and next in line for him is Jacob Collins, and Collins has found himself in a bit of an empty zone there as Shimizu.
Check out this battle.
And look at this lead battle.
Check out this battle between Ponto, Akabuizi, and Trost. Oh, Trost on the outside of Akabuizi, through forward, he clears him. I don't think Akabuizi knew he was going to go up there.
That was neck
and he's going to take a look to the inside of Ponto, going to the 1, and gets 2 for 1 on the same lap.
Ty Quilla trying to stick out the inside of Akabuizi, not quite enough to make the move work there, but Brandon Trost already on the charge, and next up is Matthew Ponto. Ponto is seeing him in the mirror and thinking, oh boy, it's this guy. And we've seen from Kentucky, I keep on reiterating, Trost does not take a fight lying down. He will fight hammer and tongs for it. And he's looking to the outside now. What a run he's getting.
Yeah, that outside line looks like it's in business.
He's really finding a lot of grip up there on that high line there, especially with no one else in front of him to take the air away from his front wing. But move Brandon Trost up into P9. That's already 7 positions gained, 16th to 9th.
Now, he may be a controversial figure in the series, but sometimes you got to create a little controversy to make moves towards the front. And in this case, he's doing it, and it's working out in his favor.
Indeed it is. And who said that? Who said that he was here to make friends?
Stephen Lee in chat tells him to go get them, Kyle. So we're watching right now, riding alongside or just over the helmet of Kyle Clinsworth. Clindy tracking down, or at least keeping tabs on Crowder and Vasquez, as the top 3 have pulled out about a 4/10 lead over Shimizu in P4.
Now, Cloud cover has definitely come over and blanketed the speedway, so that's going to drop the track temperature down, increasing the track grip just a tad bit. So it's going to be interesting to see who can use this cloud cover to their advantage.
Clindy's got to run. Clindy's got to run on Vasquez to the inside.
Side by side in the 3. Clendy clears him. Move Kyle Clenworth up into 2nd place. And next in line, Jackson Crowder. Not sure if Crowder and Clendy have met each other before on the racetrack, but, well, we're going to get to quite the introductions here. Clendy is a fierce fighter in his own right, and he has been looking to make that high line work pretty well in the draft right now. What can he do?
So notice Vasquez was using, or at least sporting the livery of Apex. I didn't know that. I don't know if that's one of the readily available Apex liveries, or is he a team member? But he is a 5K I rating on him, so he's not too shabby when it comes to being a driver here in the sim.
Oh yeah, I'm reading the strength of field going into this race. What was it, like 4,800 going into this race?
It is.
Hang on, guys. We got a side-by-side battle.
45-16.
We got a side-by-side battle between Seb Alexander and Robert Malechka. Malechka was side-by-side with Seb Alexander in the north end of the speedway. He's going to try not to run. Plenty to the lead. A lead change here. But back to the battle now. We got Robert Malechka still trying to get by Seb Alexander. But Trost is right there with them. They've also got Antonio Estrada up in front of them. So we got a car's essentially going under a blanket here.
Yeah, we got some close fighting right now, working lap number 13. A bit of a split between the top 5, and you have this own little battle here throughout the rest of the top 10 here. Your Estrada, Alexander, Malechka, and Trost, and they are actually slowly starting to catch up to everyone. So we're getting close to a line abreast battle for the entire top 10.
Notice not as in the lineup is Jacob Oster, and LGN. He won the 2 races yesterday.
That's why Oster is not here. Yesterday, Oster, Washington, and Shimizu, the first one. Oster, Malechka, Alexander. So far now, Malechka is over and 283 points. So I think so the battle is for the 2nd place so far now. So in between Oster, Clendy, and Trost.
And we'll bring up real quick. We'll bring up real quick the point situation. There are the points, as we'll continue calling out the action. RM3 is your leader. Clindy is P2. Trost P3. Oster P4. Quilla, Shimizu, Morera, Campbell, Moskowitz, and McWhorter is your top 10. Shadid, Cares, Romanzini, David, Estrada, and Trey Shadid in his other account, and that is your top 16. Back to the action on the track.
Yeah, Robert Malechka got by Seb Alexander, and now he's gotten by Antonio Estrada. So basically 2 for 1 now as he moves up to, I believe that is the 6th position.
Okay, Akabuizi around Ponto. Move Akabuizi up into the top 10. Trost now on the backside of Seb Alexander going into 1.
And once again, Trost working that higher line there behind the gearbox of the number 8 of Seb Alexander.
A whole second lane up there. That whole it's been a while since we've seen the second lane as being OP, but apparently it's in, like I said, the second lane is in business today. It is pain.
Exactly.
Whoa! And I think Seb put a little bit of a fade on him there, tried to protect the high side and almost put Brandon into the wall as he got up into the grade, but kept it off the wall. Now he's running him down the front stretch, and Seb does not want to be passed. I can tell you right now, in many ways, ego-wise as well as position-wise, he does not want to be passed right now. Oh, and into the short chute. Both go sliding through.
Trost. Liso by Trost there, and they Seb does not particularly like Trost all that much, especially after last weekend at Kentucky. That was not a fun time for him, and he was not too happy with that whole way that race finished. So Seb is going to be even less inclined to give Brandon any amount of an inch.
Yeah, he pulled a Pruitt fade on him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yesterday about Trost is coming desperate for points because yesterday he crashed in the two mains on Monday. So that's why he's coming.
Ooh, look at us run on the high side. Look at us on the high side. Oh, contact!
Trost went airborne and the suspension is damaged. He's going to go in the wall. And he is going to coast it up on the wall there. Caution will likely come out soon unless something amazing happens. Ooh, everyone trying to dodge him and duck it down onto the apron. He gets it off the track and onto the apron. That might be no caution. It is no caution.
And done.
But it is game over for Brandon Trost. That already in the chat, he is not happy with Seb Alexander.
I think we got a rivalry brewing here, boys.
I think we got a couple. I think we got a couple rivalries going right there. But let's take a breath.
Yeah, and already the accusations that Trost is throwing out in the chat about mirror driving are starting to come out here. What do you lot make of all that?
Chat, I'll let chat speak for me. He was there. I mean, we were looking out the gearbox of Seb when that happened. He was there. Whether or not there was a clear or had any clears. Oh, Kyle trying to put a bit of a block on Crowder going in the one, just enough to keep him behind to hold the lead.
Clendy still holding on fiercely to that top spot, and Jackson Crowder has been doing a sterling job taking the fight to him. Working lap number 20, so we're within the pit stop window thereabout. We've just entered it. They can expect about 30 laps thereabouts that these guys can run on fuel. They could get a bit more out of it if they're really fuel saving, but in a sprint race, effectively that this is, not really something I would want to be banking on, especially since it's been caution-free, even with an airborne incident for Brandon Trost.
Yeah, let me go back in time and see if I can find Trost. Here it is. And we'll watch it from the point of from the camera shot here. And he gets a good run. He's using the high side, gets a really good run. And the reason he gets a really good run is that he had clean air. And, well, that's a tough call. Yeah. That is really a tough call. Akapoeasy almost gets into the back of him. But let's replay that a little bit again. Maybe get another angle.
Glenworth is pitting.
Yeah.
Glenworth is signaling he's coming onto pit road. The 7 is going to make that dive down here. Is anyone else going to follow him? This is early in the
13 of Jacob Collins.
Yeah, this is very early. Normally it's they try to make it to at least lap 25, but with 30 laps to do in a tank, he's in the window to make this a stop and done.
Yeah, honestly, I think this could be a really good move for these guys coming in early here.
This is a team stop. This is a team stop. Notice everyone on the pit road. Collins, Quilla, Campbell, everyone but I think Estrada. I think Estrada is going to split the team strategy. He's still out there, but Collins, Clinworth, Quilla, and Campbell. Well, Campbell's still out on the racetrack, but I think that particular team decided to split strategy between their 5 drivers.
Yeah, that's an interesting call for sure, and I definitely like the idea coming in early here, especially since you get the pit stop out of the way, and if tire wear isn't a big concern for you, like maybe you come in later on to get fresh rubber, but with the fuel situation being really important here as well, this knocks it out of consideration for them. They don't need to refill again.
All right, so Quilla comes out. He just goes a lap down to the leaders. He's third in line there. There you see that green car. He is between P1 and, or excuse me, P2 and Shimizu in P3. Shimizu now, he's like, okay, fine, I'll come to pit road. I don't have to worry about traffic.
Crowder now to the inside of Vasquez, back to the race lead. Yes, once again into turn number 1. So Crowder, Vasquez, and Plenty. Ooh, bit of a rub against the wall there. I think that was Ty Quilla. Quilla, I think, got the wall a bit. And getting very close yet again there. I moved Robert Malechka around him there. So not the way this opening stint has been wanting to go here for Ty Quilla. And there's Craig Forsyth getting passed by Malechka as well. So a couple of lap cars already not having a good go of this early stop here. This is kind of the thing here. If you were towards the front of the field, I'd probably like this strategy a bit more because you're not going to be caught a lap down. But for those that were a bit further back there, it was a bit of a gamble this whole time there, whether you were going to come out in front of the leaders, well in front of the leaders, or if you're going to be in the middle of them.
Oh, Caboeasy and Ponto continue to fight it out, and we just got on board with Caboeasy, and he almost got a little bit of an arrow wash up into the turn 1 wall, exit wall there, and here he is running down Ponto going into 3. He's going to take a look to the inside. Nope, it's going to just stuck right in and keep that position here for P6, in the battle for P5 and P6.
Yeah, and right now with Ponto pushing a big hole in the air in front of him here, Akabueze is going to be looking to the outside here, and actually he's coming in. So Ponto, once again coming on the pit road, lap 25, about the time you were expecting, Gary. But back to the lead again. Vasquez back to the lead again. But these guys, of course, everyone else has to pit.
Yeah, Crowder, Vasquez, Malechka. So King Robert making his first appearance back in his, I guess the land he rules. His kingdom. First time since the big Indy weekend. He is back here currently P3. Seb Alexander surviving that battle with Trost and almost finds the turn 3 wall right there in the north end of the racetrack. He's not handling very well, but he still needs to stop. Akabueze, 2 cars behind him. Both of those guys have just made their stop. That is Cares and Quilla. And then Nelson Messias, we know he likes to go long, and he has currently worked his way up to 16th. Go ahead.
Akabueze got a little too much understeer, trying to go by, I believe that was Dustin Cares.
Yeah, that's Dustin Cares.
Going through turn 1, and had to back out of it. He managed to catch it and make a pass as they came off of turn 2, Stevie.
Yeah, that was a bit of a close call there for Hamilton Akabueze, and especially later on in the going here, these guys, because these are the money laps for them in a lot of ways. These are the laps before your pit stop. You've got to be banging them out here as fast as you can. And now Akabueze is going to be going to the inside of Ty Quilla, gets the pass done here. Can he run back down? Yeah. Seb Alexander ahead.
They just got to watch that high side. That high side is really fast today.
Yes, it is. It's amazing how much grip you can get up on that high line here, especially in the draft here. It works the best when you have cars to fight with here, and with everyone and with people in front of them taking the clean air away from the low line. That high line is going to be pretty valuable real estate.
Track temp now 109.
And they used to say that Indy was a 1 groove track. Don't tell us IndyCar drivers that. We know how to make 2 grooves unlike the stock cars.
Yeah, I've definitely done a few myself. We know how to get that to work. And these guys definitely know it too.
Ooh. Jason Crowder, watching him kind of wiggle his way through turn 2 a little bit.
And Jackson really getting close up to the wall there and still fighting it out with Vasquez here. And we're getting close to the point where a lot of these guys are going to be looking to come in real soon, if not this lap, in the next few. Sticking it out for one more are all the leaders. Let's see how long they can make this work. Here comes Vasquez back to the inside.
Vasquez with that fantastic run that he's been managing to pull out lately in this race. He got the job done. And
Yep. Go ahead.
Yep, that was the indication. Crowder signaling he's going in, so no wonder Vasquez wanted to get by because he knew what was about to happen.
Vasquez! And he just got loose on his own all by himself.
Oh, he just lost it on his own. Unbelievable. Oh my goodness. And that one, I saw him right there. He got on his left side's on the rumble strips there, on the apron effectively. And what's that we always say, Gary? What's that thing we always say?
Apron bad.
For what little there is in Indy, apron is definitely bad.
I think Jackson Crowder also got a little bit of netcode damage because I saw
watch
that wheel
this.
starting to flop.
Let's watch this. Here he comes, and yes, he gets that. You know what? I mean, we've seen the real IndyCar drivers get that at lap 1, turn 1 in the Indy 500, and then we saw Marcus Ericsson in practice in turn 4 get right down there to that little cement line, and that unloads the car in real life and in the sim, and that's exactly what happened.
Yep. Unloaded the car, and a bit of an overcorrection just sends it into the turn 3 wall.
So this does a lot of shaking up the field now. We got Crowder, Malechka, Alexander, Akabueezy, Nelson Messias, the gas man, Carlos Washington, and Mitch David. They all have not stopped. If I'm reading everything correctly, and neither is Bruno Romanzini. He started from pit road. So
Crowder
this,
coming in, and so
this might cycle up Kyle Clinworth, Clindy, to the lead. However, there's going to be a number of cars in front of him that are badly going to want to wave around.
Oh, yes, there are. I have no doubt about that. I see the likes of Dustin. I'm looking at him. Wes Weedman, Craig Forsyth, Ty Quilla, Dustin Cares, Alan Morea, Jake Johansson. They're all going to be waved around the pace car here. So at the very least on the restart, we're going to have Clendy to the point, and he's going to have clear air in front of him. Masato Shimizu sitting behind him, Antonio Estrada, and Jacob Collins. The question here is going to be with tires, with the guys that started towards, and that's going to be starting this, that came in. These guys are going to have fresh rubber underneath them. I'm going to be curious to see what they can pull.
But will they have time? That's the thing. Will they have time? And we look, and we got Clindy's going to cycle to the front. Shimizu, also, remember, he was stuck behind traffic. He's like, nah, I'm coming to pit road. That was a wise call. He's now going to cycle to second. Antonio, we got fans of Antonio in the chat. He has moved his way up to third. And then his teammate Jacob Collins right behind him in fourth. Matthew Ponto, who has been fighting with Akabueezy all race long, pitted early, and that seemed to got a benefit to him, moves him up to fifth. Richard Vasquez up 18 spots in that Team Menard throwback. He is now in sixth. But really where we're going to start paying attention to who's going to come and who's going to bring the hurt, going to bring the damage, who's going to storm through the field, it's going to be P7, Robert Malechka, as he is the first of the cars to come off a pit road with fresh tires. Is he going to have enough time? I think he does, but that's an awful lot of traffic to try to work your way through, especially with the way the aero wash works around here. Crowder has a bit of a challenge on his hands as well, because we don't know how really he has experienced with these cars. We know he has a good iRating because he's in this split, but how is he going to do not up at the lead as he's been all race long? How's he going to be back behind 9 other cars with the bad aero wash there? And then all the while he's going to be hounded by series regular Seb Alexander, Akabueezy, Messias, Washington, and David. So he's going to really have his hands full in P8 right there for Crowder.
Yeah, this is going to be an interesting show of it's one thing that I think to myself oftentimes is that fighting for the lead of a race here in IndyCar is the easy kind of fight, really, because you have predictable parameters around you. When you have a bunch of people surrounding you on all sides, like in the mid pack there, that's where, and that's the one I think that really separates the men from the boys. How do they handle that? How did they handle being in the middle of the pack here? Do they make passes work? Do they just sit there and wait? What did they do? So it's going to be interesting to see what Crowder is going to be able to do here. Sort of an lesser tested commodity here.
Yep.
And we're going to be taking a keen interest in this.
And thanks for joining us. Make sure to like, share, subscribe. You are watching P1's coverage of the IndyCar Oval Series Tuesday night top split on ERN, coming to you from my favorite racetrack in the world, my hometown, Indianapolis. We've completed now 33, coming to 34 laps of a scheduled 50. Enjoying tonight's coverage and would like to monetarily support us, please find a link or GoFundMe campaign in the stream description. We realize times are tough, and any donation, no matter the amount, is greatly appreciated. And we are green flag, and the snake is starting.
Clendy on the throttle and going into turn number 1. Shimizu, Estrada, Collins, Ponto, and Richard Vasquez. Everyone getting themselves into order here. The snake is starting to make its appearance here. Everyone trying to throw each other out of the draft as Clendy goes down to the low side down the back straightaway.
Maleska the third got a huge run off of turn 2, and he made it past Richard Vasquez. So move RM3, the king of Indianapolis, up to 6th place, and they're still side by side behind him. That is Seb Alexander and Jackson Crowder. I thought Jackson got damaged. It must have just been
he almost got damaged that way. He got a little squirrely coming off of 4. But here comes a Kabuizi. I think Jackson had to really lift there. Kabuizi gets the position. Now he's going to be in a battle for Crowder to stay in the top 10 with the Gasman Messias right behind him.
Yeah, Nielsen Messias, he actually got a big run there, but Crowder lost
on the high side. Here he goes. Good run.
He's going to get the run here. Let's see what he can do. Crowder still has the toe of Akabuese helping him out here. Bit of a chop move there for Jackson Crowder. Nearly making contact with Messias there. I'm sure Messias is not going to be happy about that.
If you want to make a chop on a Brazilian, you're on your own.
Do so at your own
Antonio
risk.
Estrada moves up to 2nd, and now we got teammates in P1 and P2. Can they make a run of this now as Shimizu gets squirrely in the south chute?
Shimizu taking up all the track he can. I wonder if one of his idols is Takuma Sato. No attack, no chance, I wonder. He's really pushing that to the limit here. And he's staying within earshot of Antonio Estrada here as Estrada works his way up back into the back of his teammate. Kyle Clemworth leading this race. Shimizu's been doing, I'll say this, Shimizu's been doing very good lately. He's having really strong performances. The results may not be, couldn't get the results in a lot of cases, but he's been doing a stellar performance.
Here comes Messias to the inside of Crowder. Crowder, another bad turn 4, and move the gas man up to...
Crowder with the momentum on the high side there. You saw Messias there get understeery there in the slipstream of Seb Alexander, and now Crowder gets back by him.
Yeah, but I gotta think though, if Messias gets around him and he's remotely clear, he is good. Jackson Crowder might be introduced to the Brazilian clear.
Yeah, and hopefully it's not a rude introduction, that's for sure. But looking up in front of him, Seb Alexander and Hamilton and Richard Vasquez, I should say. Vasquez lost the spot there to Seb Alexander.
Battle for the lead between teammates. Estrada and Clendy side by side down the front stretch. And looks like Estrada might have got into the wall. He might have got into the wall. Well, he's trying to fill the car out to see how he feels right now. Shimizu's not really gaining on him.
Caution is out. What has happened?
Ty Quilla, turn 2.
Ty Quilla in trouble. Oh my goodness. And
Quilla clipped the wall. Got clipped from behind by... Dustin Cares.
Dustin Cares, yeah. So looked like both of them were having a big understeer moment up into the wall there, and unfortunately for Ty Quilla, he got the worst of it. And Dustin Cares, he's definitely got to be nursing a hurt race car there too.
Yeah, he's had a little contact with the wall earlier. I don't know if he's damaged. He might have just followed him up. I think that's exactly what happened. He kind of followed him up into the wall. Which sometimes you do. You get hypnotized into following that guy in front of you, and you follow him too precise, and you follow him right up into the wall. And then, he, of course, when Ty hits the wall, he lets off the accelerator, and then the gap closes because the driver behind's still on the power, and that's where the contact comes from.
Exactly.
If you also look behind, Brian Campbell and Jake Johansson also followed him into the wall. So it's a case of monkey see, monkey do in that one.
Yep, indeed, and not in the best way here. That was not a route you wanted to follow there, but it caught a few of them off guard.
Well, let's watch Brian Campbell here. The tire changer for Dale Coyne Racing as he goes into turn 1, and he doesn't quite get down to the white line. There he does. Now he's starting to come out of it. Again, following the car right in front of him. Oh, we got a wall contact. Ooh, and he does get up into it a little bit as well. And but the thing is, his contact was so much slighter than the other two. And he's able to at least roll away and at least look like that he can survive to see another lap or two, or at least the end of this race. Cars coming on pit road. We do have a lot of the back portion of the field coming on the pit road to get that last set of tires. Remember, there are tire limits here in the Oval Series. 3 sets of tires. You start with 1 on the car, 2 in the pits. A lot of these guys come to the pit road for the second time to get that last set here for a 10-lap, 9-lap sprint to the end.
And Wes Weidman is the leader of those cars coming on pit road, so 16th on back will be coming in here. And with a 10-lap sprint on their hands, there's not going to be much time to work with, but it should be enough for fresh rubber to be a difference maker for these guys to get up there and gain some spots.
And we'll reset the field here in just a second. Once again, if you're just joining us, this is P1's coverage of round 7 of 12 of the IndyCar Oval Series. Tuesday night, top split on ERN, coming to you from Indianapolis, where Kyle Klindworth is your leader with approximately, well, we're coming about 10 to go right now. Make sure to smash that like button, subscribe to the channel so you don't miss out on the next race here on ERN. And also don't forget your commentary team by sending a donation our way via our GoFundMe link GoFundMe link that is in the description. We certainly would appreciate any contribution you could throw our way. We do realize times are tough, but anything you can, we would appreciate it. And now we are coming probably the lights out this time. We'll probably go racing with 8 to go. So it's going to everybody put together 2 really good qual runs.
Yeah, pretty much.
Oh, Messias, what's he doing? Is he going to do a pump fake? Yes, pump fake, yes.
Yeah, I was going to say, Nielsen, tires may be a benefit, but not to that extent.
And those that stopped, that got new tires, Weidman, Cares, Morera, Johansson, Campbell, and, Quilla might be nursing some damage. I think he's still on. He's still rolling.
He's rolling. I think he came back onto pit road to get damage squared away.
Oh, and I think he was getting ready to go to pit road and then decided against it, but I think he just might be trying to bring that car home now. But we'll see how these guys that got tires here, Weidman, Cares, Morera, Johansson, and Campbell, move up any. They will be fighting those that pretty much are all, on older tires is Craig Forsyth. He's 18 laps old tires. Vasquez has 11 lap old tires. Ponto 15, 19 for Collins. And certainly the 3 leaders, Klindworth has 19 lap old tires. So is Estrada, 16 lap old tires. Shimizu 17. But Robert Malechka, 9 lap tires, 9 lap old tires. Right when you need them the most, and we are coming to when you need those fresh tires the most here at the end of a race here at Indianapolis.
Yeah, but with Robert Malechka, even with 9 lap old tires, he's still going to make it to the front.
Still got to pass him. You're right. Still got to pass him.
Hey, Stevie, it's getting down to the nitty-gritty. Take him away for the restart.
9 to go. Clendy on the throttle once again. Green flag flying. What can Estrada, Shimizu, Malechka, Collins, what can they all do? Who's going to win this? It's going to be another great finish at the Brickyard. I can see that. It has all the makings of one.
With less controversy, too.
I mean, at least we won't throw red flags. But more to the point, Estrada, look at the run he's getting. He's going to look to the inside of his teammate, Kyle Klindworth, holding on that high side there. Estrada, though, to the lead of the race. Will Clendy get back at him? This is about the time where it's like, yep, I know you're my teammate, but I'm still going to fight you for this win, buddy. Clendy, though, looking on the inside, into one again. Back and forth, back and forth. So Clendy back to the lead. Shimizu starting to close up on these leaders here, and look who he's dragging with him. Mr. RM3, Robert Malechka III. Can he snatch a win out of a 4th place result at the moment? Clendy defending in the middle of the track here as they head into 3 against Estrada, against Shimizu. These two are going to be playing a rolling roadblock probably to prevent Shimizu and Malechka from doing anything about catching up to the lead.
Still snaking their way down the front stretch here. No, here comes RN3. 2 wide, 2 rows deep. RN3 with nowhere to go. He gets hit with that wall of air, has to back out of it.
Oh, Shimizu into the wall. He might have been just a little bit of a kiss there.
Bit of a kiss there, but he's still going. But move Malechka up into 3rd place, and that's the last thing these guys want to see. Estrada squeezed Robert Malechka. They squeezed him in the middle here. He had to back out. Clendy has a nose on his teammate. They're still wheel-to-wheel through 4.
Malechka's doing everything he can to mount that charge again, and here he goes onto the inside. He's going to try and go for the lead as they go up in the wood.
It's going to be 2 for 1. It's looking like for Robert Malechka. Looking to the inside. Shimizu back in the fray, and so is Akapuze. But Robert Malechka the 3rd on lap 45 to the lead of this race. Perfectly calculated there, but can Clendy and company get by him again? Malechka playing mucho defense on the low side.
Mucho defense.
Oh, there we go. Battle for 3rd.
Oh, man, and Shimizu now looking to the inside on Estrada. Estrada lost a ton of momentum out of that. He's still holding on to that 3rd position, but now he's got Shimizu and Akapuze to contend with. But Malechka doing a big weave there down the front straightaway, defending all the way on the low side. Clendy sticks the nose up there on the high side. Malechka will have the grip for the moment. But you still got Kyle Clemworth. Drop back a little bit there, trying to work that higher line there, but he's going to have the toe to work with. If Malechka...
Wow.
Man, he's really...
I have not seen Malechka defend that hard in a while.
Me neither. That's amazing. Like, that's just saying how hard these guys are racing with each other. If Malechka is going all the way from one side of the track to the other multiple times and trying to throw him for a loop.
Now can Clenworth pull off the Joseph Newgard in that last lap pass? Well, it's going to be interesting to see. Clenworth is now doing everything he can. He's maneuvering. He's using that 2nd lane to his advantage, but I don't think it's going to be enough for this one. But as they come off at the corners here, he gets that toe, and he's literally pulling. He's following. He's basically mirroring Malechka, and that's what you have to do in order to get by him as they go through 3.
And for Malechka in the corners, it's pretty simple. Don't give up the bottom of the track and try and throw Clemworth out of the draft here. And they're pulling away right now from Estrada. They open up a gap about 4/10. Malechka, once again, up and down the track. Clenworth looking to the inside. He found a gap. He's going to be looking down low. Not quite enough this time. 3 to go.
It wasn't enough that time, and now he goes back to the high side to mount that charge again. But, guys, look who's coming up in 3rd. It's Hamilton Akapuze. He's got the draft of Kyle Clenworth, while Clenworth is still trying to mirror drive what Robert Malechka is doing as they go through 3 and 4.
Akapuze has been silent most of the time.
Big run. He had a big run through the corner. He's going to run through that corner. He's going to get a run down the main straight, and now Clendy has to worry about protecting the position as well as attacking the car in front of him. To the outside.
Bit of neck coat smoke down Malechka. Here comes Akapuze from the outside.
Wow.
What a move, Hamilton Akapuze. And this is going to turn into a last lap fight, it looks like, between these two. Clendy looks like he's losing momentum.
It might be those older tires now.
Could be.
Here comes Hamilton Akapuze. He's got the run now. He's starting to catch Robert Malechka more and more with another huge run as they come off at turn number 4.
He's making that low side work brilliantly. Malechka's having to force him up on the high side. White flag in the air.
Side by side as they...
4 at the stripe. Malechka still holding the point.
Side by side as they go through the south end of the speedway here. Akapuze has to back out of it as they come off at turn 2. It's the fight. It's going to be a fight to the finish here. Akapuze with a huge run as they go down the backstretch. It might be the new garden move as they head off into 3.
Oh, can he pull this off? Still wheel the wheel here. Oh, almost a bit of contact. Malechka still holding on that low line doggedly. Akabuze, can he get the run here? He has a nose. He's gonna be catching.
I think he's got it.
Coming to the stripe. Who's it gonna be? Malechka. Robert Malechka, 9/1000ths of a second at the stripe. Malechka wins it. What a finish. Oh, man.
0.009 was that finish. Wow.
And Akabuze giving him a little touch there. Does a little, nuts to you for winning that one. And there's the man. What a race! What a race! Robert Malechka destroys the car as a celebration and throws it into the pits. Oh my goodness. What a finish there. It may be one of the usual suspects winning it, but he didn't. He made it fun to watch, and so did everyone else. What a race.
And let's queue up some replays here, and we'll get into the final stats and standings, and then get into the interview room here momentarily. Okay.
You're gonna check the finish from the card number 12.
Check the finish from car 12.
Yes. And also, Whiteman is complaining about that.
Uh-oh.
Craig Forsyth in the 12 car?
No, car 12. I'm gonna tell you now. Forget it.
12th place?
No.
Oh, yeah,
car
Jason
12.
Crowder. Crowder has actually crossed the line with a damaged race car. What happened? What happened to him?
He hit the wall. He hit the wall by.
Why did he do that?
Yeah.
I have several questions after that one.
All
He
right.
just weaves on his own and sends it in the wall, still holds on to 12th place. What was the reason for that?
Trying to find the lap.
He coming to 51. Car number 3.
Oh yeah, you're right. Car number 3. So when you come in here and you don't have nothing to lose, sometimes you have that kind of attitude. So I don't know. That's my perception from here.
Okay, so coming to the finish here, and he's racing. Is that Weidman in the Marlboro car? Okay, so we'll go ahead and just pick it back up here. Is going into this is just 3. We're at half speed here. We got a little time. We want to check this out
On the checkered flag, anyway.
Oh, so it's on the checkered flag, coming to the checkered flag? Okay.
Yes. Sir.
Yes.
All right, we'll fast forward here a little bit. Okay, so we're going to pick them up going side by side into 3, and I do approve of Weidman's Patrick Racing livery there, and that he's sporting an old Emerson Fittipaldi Patrick Racing livery there. Very well done. Side by side, coming off the corner down to the yard of bricks here. I didn't see anything there.
Yeah.
And anyways, let's get back into. I'm not sure what happened there, but we don't have the time to check that out. I do want to get into the interview room. I do want to queue up some replays here, and we want to bring in the final stats for today. And then we'll get into the interview room. All right, the results. Malechka, your winner, maintaining his crown here at Indianapolis once again. as he finishes just ahead of Akabuizi, who finished 0.009 just behind him. Clindy got to feel a little exasperated. Gave it a good fight there with the alternative strategy, but that late caution might have been what really cost him. We'll see when we get him in the interview room. He was just behind this battle 5/10. Estrada, Shimizu, Collins, Ponto, Alexander, Messias, Mitch David. Mitch David, very quiet race. Works his way up to 10th. Good job for him. Roman Zini, very quiet race, 11th. Crowder up at the front all day today at 12th. Weedman 13th. Washington 14th. Vasquez 15th. Barrera 16th. Craig Forsyth, not a good finish for him and his liking, I'm sure. I'm sure he'll give it another go here later. Justin Cares, after bouncing off the wall a couple times, does bring it home 18th. Brian Campbell 19th. Jake Johansson is in 20th. And Ty Quilla brings home a damaged car 21st, but was up among the top 10 all day. Vasquez crashed out while leading, actually coming to pit road in 22nd. Trost in the battle with Seb Alexander on the south end of the racetrack hits contact, resulting in the into the turn or the short chute wall there is 23rd. Austin Green is 24th. That is the 24-car field here tonight at Indianapolis. All right, let's get into the interview room. And let's bring up Kyle Klindworth. Actually, bring down. But... Hey, Clindy, we got you here in the booth. You're on mute, sir. But talk about your race. I'm sure you didn't want to see that last caution.
If we had gotten like one more immediately after, that would have been great. I thought about all the sort of different restart games I could have played, and I figured that I'm a bigger person than that, and I didn't need to do it, and I'd be happy with not winning by racing ethically rather than like a scum lord who's trying to win at all costs.
Well, let's talk about your race, though. You and your teammates decided to go on a slightly different strategy. Your team kind of split strategies. 3 of the 5 of you went to pit road and topped off fuel and got new tires right about lap 22 or so, while the remainder of your team kind of with a different strategy stayed on out. The caution really helped you because it waved you guys right around. You picked up the lead with about 20 to go, but was it just the running out of time with those older tires is kind of what really kind of caught you out there?
It was a combination of things. When you try to beat Robert Malechka III here, you're going to have a bad time. We definitely went rogue today. You know, we did the best we could on pit cycles and pit strategy. We'd come up with a game plan and we thought it would work well. We found that swap drafting wasn't really faster, but could save you just enough fuel to where you could cut the run short and we would have had track position like we did. The race went exactly to plan, except for just the rash of cautions at the end. My tires were a little bit older. Rob and Hamilton kind of teamed up on me, and Tony and I tried to team up on them. We're just not as good, honestly. Like they are the best in the service on this track, and to be able to go wheel to wheel with them in the closing laps and finish third without touching them, leaving them a lane, being raced clean, I can't ask for anything more. I'm very proud of myself and my teammates. We all showed up and put the time in this week, and it shows up on the scoreboard, right? Yeah. P3 and P4 is really, really cool. Jacob Collins came home 6th. So, you know, having 3 rogue racing cars in the top 6, that's 50%. I can't really ask for more than that. Maybe next year we can aim for all 3 stops of the podium. But, you know, we've got work to do. We're not done. We're still here. Call me KL3NDY. Glendy with a 3. my 5th third place podium this year.
Well, I mean, you'd have to feel a lot better. I mean, in races in the past, you've kind of been up there by yourself. Now you have at least a wingman. And while you're maybe your wingman and you aren't on the same skill set as the guys that you were battling, it does feel better to have a partner in racing out there to help you out.
It feels amazing. It makes these races more enjoyable. It gives you someone to hold you accountable, somebody to run practice laps with, somebody to bounce ideas off of. We've got a great team, really. I cannot be more proud of who we've put together. And we all have about the same level of skill, right? And we're all learning together. And we know that it's a work in progress, and we don't expect to win right away. Getting to show up and lead a bunch of laps here, have the TV time, I can't say enough about P1 broadcasting. You guys showing up every week to put us on the air. It makes me feel like a little celebrity, but not as much as a celebrity as my wife.
There you go.
Like 70,000 followers on Instagram, and you can be one of them. Just follow Julia's Kitchen TW on Instagram. Go enjoy some of the best Asian fusion cooking there is on the internet, and get to see me act like a total absolute princess on those videos. They're worth the watch.
That might be worth it all alone, but congratulations. And you know what? He's been up here in the booth enough that I don't have to prompt him anymore. He just gets right to the shout outs and he's like, I'm ready to go. Kyle Glenworth, P3 here at Indianapolis. A good day for you. I know you wish better, but there's always next time. Congratulations. We'll catch you at the next one.
Thanks, Gary.
All right, let's bring down Hamilton. Hamilton, welcome to the booth. Congratulations on the P2, sir. I don't think you really led any laps all day, and for the longest time, you're in a big battle with Matthew Ponto there for like the bottom portion of the top 10. But as the field kind of thinned out a little bit, and people were on different strategies, you worked your way up to the front, and eventually were right there at the shootout. Did you think you had the run coming off of 4, or you were sure that Robert was going to edge you out at the line?
I wasn't really sure. I thought maybe I could have had a chance, but I mean, yeah,
it looked good. It looked good.
Should have built a little bit bigger of a run on the backstretch for sure. But yeah, I mean, it was honestly a fun race. Like the first half, I was kind of just trying to figure it out because I loaded in with 0 laps done, so that wind was something to get used to. But
well, let's talk about the wind. How strong was it, and where was it coming from today?
It was just, it felt really bad in like turn 1 and 2, I think, was where I felt it the most, but it kind of like moved around a bit. But yeah, it was just made things really difficult. And then, yeah, just trying to fight through the field after I figured out how to drive it a bit more. And Matthew, he was a little bit annoying to race by just because he'd run high every time, but was able to make it work eventually. And yeah, had a pretty good finish with Rob. So
well, I mean, I think you might have learned a little bit from Matthew on the high side, because I know that you started going to the high side a little bit. Was the high side that much more powerful when you were up there racing, or is it just because people up there had clean air?
It's really good when you have the clean air there, and I mean, when someone's running high in front of you, it gets really bad. So yeah, you kind of just have to take it when you get the opportunity to.
Well, shout outs, friends, family, sponsors. I know it's been a while since we've seen you on the top split, so I'm sure you got some people to say hi to, and I know the guys on the team are going to be happy because this is their place, so go right ahead.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I haven't been racing in a while, so just shout out I5G, shout out Rob. It was fun racing, talking to him, so yeah.
All right, well, congratulations. And next up is Gateway. Maybe we'll see you there, but happy to see you here at Indianapolis on the P2.
Yeah, thanks.
And let's bring down Robert. All hail, the king is in the house. Everybody, please rise. Still your champion here at Indianapolis, Robert Malechka III. King Robert, we are so humbled to be in your court and presence right now.
Thanks, yeah.
It's like, I don't know how to answer that.
Pretty great race, in all honesty. It's very difficult to pass. I probably wouldn't be able to pass if people could hit the bottom in turn 2. Yeah, it's just terrible. It's so boring. People are just struggling just to hang on, let alone actually race. So,
well, I mean, you're the community manager for the Indy Oval. I mean, what's needed here to be better? Is it a better setup? Is it just the conditions? It's the dynamic. It's the dynamic tempest weather here that's going to keep everybody on their toes. What is it? What would make racing here better for you and everybody else, you think?
I guess without being too rude about it, the setup needs to improve an extreme amount. The one Trino and I made, I've ran it in the exact same conditions and has none of the issues that this one has. What would help this setup that we're currently on is a lower wind, because we are just dying every time in turn 2, it seems.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's where most of the issues are at. But yeah.
I know that kind of when we first started coming back on at the start of the year in January, broadcasting the races after the ban was lifted, so to speak, the community, or at least iRacing, was more open into taking community feedback on the race setups. Is that just not the case anymore? I mean, you could be honest, and that's what we want you to be.
Yeah.
We don't need you to be critical, but just is that really what the case is? Is they're just not really taking that level of feedback anymore, and they're just going to kind of put in there what they want to put in there, what they put in there in the past?
I mean, to their credit, they are at every oval track except Indianapolis, which makes zero sense to me since Indianapolis is our biggest track. It's our best participation by a mile and all that. Which that's what's kind of confusing all of us, is that we're open to working with us, and credit to them that they have been for the last 2 seasons. At every oval track except Indianapolis. So, it's I don't really know what else to say, but it sucks.
Well, I mean, what about and I'll be blasphemous here, even though Indianapolis is my track. Does Indianapolis need to be on every oval season schedule? Maybe make Indianapolis more special by having it every other season or something like that. I mean, if the racing here is not that great, let's go to other places that have better racing. But then you sacrifice Indy cars at not being in Indianapolis. Your thoughts on that? I'll give you my thoughts. I mean, I don't think Indy cars need to be at Indianapolis every single season, considering a season is only 12 weeks.
Yeah. I mean, I would say I mostly disagree with that. I mean, the racing isn't good, but it's still Indy cars at Indianapolis. It's what this series is named after, right?
Right.
It's still, if you look at real life, it's still the best TV ratings by a mile. It's still and sim, it's still the best participation by a mile, no matter what the racing is. So it's just a shame, in my opinion, that the numbers are good. They're still the best that we have, but they can be way better if we had a competent setup.
Well, let's talk about your race, and you're in the points championship. You have this massive lead over P2 with a little less than now half a season to go. Probably looking to even get up to that point total you did last season. Not sure what we're on pace for. I have to go check that math real quick. But let's talk about your race. You decided to start. You did qualify, but you qualified only 7th. Was that something that caught you out a little bit? Is the other guys faster than you, or was that just you knew what your pace was going to be? That's what you're going to settle with?
Yeah, I had a massive lift in turn 1 because it seems, I guess, relating to the wind that I spoke about earlier. The wind is just kind of all over right now, where last session, it was 5 miles per hour. This session is 12. So that's really the make or break of good or decent racing right now. We were like 2.5 times slower this session than last session. So, yeah.
So we saw a lot of the field kind of split strategies about a lap 22 or so as the first of the pit stops. Was your plan all along to go to when the tank was dry and just try to finish with as least amount of fuel with fresh amount of tires there at the end?
Yeah, I was keeping tabs on the lap times that Kyle was running, and of course the guys that were ahead of us. And we were all running kind of very similar lap times. So I'm like, what, might as well just keep going as long as possible, have the freshest tires as possible, be as light as possible. So that was the plan kind of all along.
You got a question, Steven?
Well, I was actually going to follow up on the point that Robert was making about the whole debate about whether IndyCar should show here every season. I'm going to have to side with Robert on this one, because largely because everyone looks forward to Indy. It's a good track, and as you said, Robert, it's like if the setup was better, it would be a lot better for everyone involved here. I don't think it's the track's fault or anything. I think it's more just like how the series has approached it. But I definitely would want to keep it on the schedule each season myself here. It's Indy in an IndyCar. How can you say no?
Robert, before we let you go, talk about that run to the checkers. what did you think? 50-50? Did you think you had him there? I mean, obviously you can't really tell at 0.009 of a second, but sometimes you can really tell when you get that run off of 4. It looked like Hamilton had a faster run off of 2 or off the higher part of the corner in 4 and was going to get the edge on you, but he just ran out of real estate. How'd it look from your point of view?
Yeah, basically just as you said, right? Like we're side by side into 3. Once we got through 3, I'm like, oh, he's still even with me. He probably has this race.
Yeah.
But I think he just got a tiny bit too high in 4 to maybe just scrub the speed a little bit on entry. And yeah, he still carried better speed off the corner, but it wasn't, there wasn't enough track for him to kind of get there, which, we were in a call together. We thought it was going to be pretty close. I wasn't too sure off of 4, but then I was kind of doing the mental math in my head of how many meters we have until the finish line and the amount he's gaining every second. So yeah, once we got kind of to the attenuator, I knew I had it, even though it was pretty close.
Yeah. Anyone else have a little last question before we give them shout outs?
Nope.
Okay.
I think we got it.
All right. I thought someone was trying to lead in there. Shout outs, friends, family, sponsors, anyone to say hi to before we let you go. Gateway's next.
Yeah, thank you to Private Label, Team Hype, and Power Slide. We got a kind of a joke of a race in the IndyCar Challenge Series of Indianapolis, but it's a fuel save race for everyone, so that should be a pretty meme of a race on Thursday. And yeah, VCO, we got Iowa, which expecting to run pretty well there, so looking forward to it.
Okay, well, congratulations on the win and maintaining your crown. Best of luck later in the week and the other races that you have on your schedule, and we'll see you next week at Gateway, sir.
Yep, thanks, boys. Take care.
Yeah. See, I'm of the opinion that you make Indianapolis rare because Indianapolis is special, because that's kind of how Indianapolis has always been on the IndyCar schedule. I know that everyone has fun, and the biggest reason is they have Indianapolis on is for participation in the numbers, and that makes things look good. But I don't know. You could put Michigan on the or Fontana on the schedule every season, and I think we're going to get not as good, but just as good participation and a lot better racing. And when we watch it on the screen here, because they seem to really have those particular setups down pat, which make for a highly entertaining race. Indianapolis, it is very entertaining here at the end, but it took us 50 laps to get there.
Yeah, and I think I definitely was seeing what Robert was saying though about how the setups can influence that, because like this is a track where you can definitely run in the draft of someone and still get good runs on people. We saw Akabuze do that at the end of this race here. A lot of that is setup dependent, so it's less about the track, I feel. It's more about how the setup and the drivers react to it, I think. Mm-hmm. And plus, like Indy is always going to be the most popular on the circuit, obviously, and sometimes you just need a big week and big turnout weeks for good publicity. Sometimes.
I forgot what the split count was. I think it was 6 or 7. I have to go back and look, but it was still a pretty good showing tonight. But still, trucks at Daytona beat us. I mean, come on. Yeah. Come on, man.
Daytona, man. It's Daytona. What more can you expect?
I don't know. LGN, what did you think of today's race? Any trends that you saw from Monday into Tuesday's race?
Well, let me say, I don't have nothing to say about the race. Really enjoyed the race. I really enjoyed it. Back, from, middle, whatever. Really have a lot of options around. I want to stop on the championship because I like I said, he really don't have nothing more to do on the next one, because after that we have a 4 remains. It's a drop ones, so it's 259 points between the first and second.
Mm-hmm.
So I think so the battle or the chase is for the second place between Kyle, Ross, and Oster. So it's only 96 points between the second and third and fourth. Sorry. So that's gonna be the last race next week. and then the fourth one for the drop. So it's gonna be like that. I want Indianapolis. I hate Indianapolis. I don't like it. I never like it. In the iRacing I remember in my goal eras, I did 300 laps. I never win nothing. Maybe I win something at the board. I don't remember. But yeah, I won something. I think it's on 100 laps. Even 200 was 100 laps. Anyway,
I thought you won one in 4, but it might have been Oscar or Gonzalez that got it. I can't remember.
We are 5 on the same team, so we are trying to cover every single spot for everybody. So, anyways, very nice race. I see next one. I love Getaway. It's really tricky, and especially in 1 and 2. And I think so. That it's just only Maleska need to go over there, just finish the race, and that's it. Because to gain 250 points, 59 points in one race, or maybe something, he has to disappear for 4 weeks. I think so, 5 weeks maybe.
Yeah.
And somebody need to win all of them in kind of soft of 4.5 or almost 5, so 5K, sorry, and yeah, good for him. Anyways, and you say about the last season, he did 2,100 points, so now it's 1,800.
He's definitely on pace. I guess it's a long weekend of Indy racing for you, Justin, watching your favorite NASCAR guys there this weekend. But we get to end it on a IndyCar note with the IndyCar guys here on Tuesday night. Your final thoughts, and definitely we saw some new names in this particular race. Okay, there we go.
No, as far as the NASCAR guys go, let's just say let's not talk about the Brickyard 400, because that was 2017 Brickyard 400 all over again.
Okay.
But as far as everything else goes, as far as tonight went, it was kind of expected on that one. But as the old saying goes, we know what Indy means, and we know how to put on a damn good finish, even if we're not racing in it. We're just spectating or broadcasting.
Yeah.
We know how to put on a damn good finish. Now, as far as what Luis said over here, with 4 races left, there's also another series that has 4 races left, and Gary, I think that is the IIS. And some are probably wondering, when's the next race?
Next race
why do we close it out?
Yeah, the next race for the IIS, it's a ways down the road. Of course, all these leagues now in real life are kind of taking the next couple weeks off for the Olympics. So IndyCar is kind of no different. We won't see IIS action until Wednesday, August 14th at 9 p.m. That will be our next race, and that will also be at Gateway, which was our next stop here on the Oval Series. And guys, one other thing that I forgot to mention, and I should mention it because I love my IndyCar history, is now Robert has secured not 1 but 2 of the crown jewels of the season, this season's, season 3 2024 of the season 3 2024 schedule. So he got Michigan earlier, he's got Indianapolis, so he's going to race at Gateway, and then he has kind of call it, let's maybe call it a dress rehearsal, and not quite a dress rehearsal, but just getting in there, getting involved, and then the Triple Crown could be completed by Robert when we go to Fontana here in 2 weeks. It doesn't pay anything other than we'll just give him credit for winning the Triple Crown.
Yeah, that's gonna be fun to watch. And Fontana, as you said, Gary, I definitely agree. Fontana definitely puts on great shows. But yeah, these next couple of weeks, like this sort of action, I don't think is gonna go anywhere. We're gonna be having a great time these next couple of weeks here.
Oh yeah, for sure.
We're having a great time this season.
For sure. For sure. And next season is going to be even more wilder. We're going to have 2 doubleheaders next season. There's going to be a race at Plate Atlanta, and then a season week 13 will decide the IndyCar Championship for the Oval Series at the iRacing Superspeedway. So we'll do.
God.
We're
I'm
gonna
just
do.
gonna say right now. I am skipping the iRacing Superspeedway race.
But we'll have 2 doubleheaders next season. Well, that's it for tonight, guys. We'll let everyone go. It was a bit of a elongated post race, but well worth it. Thanks for sticking it out. Your podium from Indianapolis, Robert Malechka, our king, our hero, our savior. You name it. He is our winner once again here in Indianapolis by 0.009 of a second over Hamilton Acklebase in P2. And Kyle Klindworth just ran out of time, ran out of tire, and ran out of pace as he got teamed up on. And, well, you don't win handicap matches unless you're in wrestling, and that's when they script it. And we can't script it that way. So he lost out on this one on a 2 versus 1 there at the end, and that's what happens. But Kyle finishes third. Join us again next week. Let's see, we're going to go to round 8 at Gateway. So that's the IndyCar Oval Series next Tuesday night, top split on ERN as we head to now 4 hours west of Indy to Gateway. Coverage, as always, begins around 8:15 p.m. Eastern. That's 8:15 p.m. Eastern. It'll be right here on the Elite Racing Network channel. Of course, reminder that is for the remainder of the season. We'll be here on ERN, so make sure to like, share, subscribe on their channel. As always, you can find the correct broadcast times in your area on YouTube at youtube.com/@EliteRacing_. That is the name of their channel. Or you can just search out Elite Racing Network, and that will help you find the same thing, too. Find the Dayglow green and white logo. Can't miss it. Hey, we love bringing these races to you, and they're not easy. They require time and money to produce. Because of your generosity and donations, we've been able to bring you IndyCar Oval action nearly sponsor-free. If you share our passion for the sport of IndyCar and enjoyed our coverage of the IndyCar Oval Series Tuesday night top split, please take time to go visit our GoFundMe page. The link is in the description, and donate to our 2024 broadcast fund. We realize times are tough, so any contribution would be greatly appreciated. We thank you for watching and make us part of your Tuesday evenings each and every week. Now, as you know, the YouTube algorithm game's not easy, so please help support P1 and ERN with the weekly grind. Leave a comment below. Let us know what you thought of tonight's race, and for all those that participated in the chat, thank you very much. And if you enjoyed tonight's coverage, support us by smashing like in the video. If you're new, click subscribe. While you're at it, hit the bell for weekly reminders so don't miss out on more of P1's other iRacing programming, including the Elite Racing League's Warriors for Peace IndyCar Series, which will kick off their 9th season on Thursday, August 1st, at Homestead Miami Speedway. To learn more about the Elite Racing League and how to sign up for their upcoming IndyCar season, join their Discord. The invite is in the description. Track cams for this race provided by Whiplash Sim Cams. Get the most out of your iRacing experience with Whiplash. Learn more about Whiplash. Like them on Facebook, follow it on Twitter, and also you can check them out on Instagram. Make sure to follow them. All links are in the description, and you can find that Instagram link there probably off one of their other socials. Check them out. So for Stephen Larkamp, Justin Petschauer, the infamous LG, and Luis Gonzalez Nunez, everyone here at P1 and ERN, I'm Gary Gotso saying all good night. Thanks for watching, and to all of the men and women serving in the military and as first responders, Godspeed. God bless. Come home safe. Catch us again right here next week at Gateway for the next race up, the IndyCar Oval Series Tuesday night top split. Good night.